homes or a nice suburban house, and they would love to be able to make that kind of money. I literally had a guy, what day was it? I think it was Wednesday, it was Tuesday this week. I sat with a guy who told me he had $2 million in the bank and making 1%. This is what he did with his finger. He said, I'm making 1% on my money. What do you think came out of my mouth next? I said, dude, I got a $900,000 project right now you could finance in Sarasota, and I'll pay you 7% interest only on it, and I could have that deal wrapped up in a week. I already own the buildings. I just need to, I borrowed hard money to do this deal, okay, at an expensive rate. And now I'm looking for somebody to refi it on a 7% interest. And I'm offering an equity position in the properties, or I'll just pay them the 7% interest only. So I said, you know, there you go. How's that for a good lunch meeting? I'll get you 7 times the investment you're getting on your money right now, and I'll do that for you in a week. Okay? So he told me he'd get back to me. So, okay, whatever. You know, but that's the kind of meeting that I want to be doing every day. That's what I see myself being in my highest and best use, is hopefully I develop relationships with the people in this room, and you're calling me up from time to time, or emailing me. Email's actually best for me, because my phone blows up all day long. I don't have time to answer this thing. I can't answer half of them. But if you send me emails, I'll look at all my emails. I really do. I might not respond to all of them, but it doesn't mean I didn't look at it. If you got a real estate deal, email it to me. Tell me about the deal. Show me some pictures. Put together some kind of professional layout so I know what it is you're talking about. I might be able to raise money for your deal, or maybe you raise money for one of my deals. So many ways we can help each other, okay? So, of course you gotta have a strong deal too, okay? That's a quick synopsis about how I raise private money. But you've also got to have a good deal to put the money into. You can't just buy some retail property off the MLS, off of a traditional realtor, and expect that someone's going to go, yeah, I'm in on that deal, okay? Because you've got it. You're the one who's going to be the expert in the business. So even if you're not an expert, you can become an expert pretty quickly. And you have to find strong deals. So one of the things that I do, this is one of the ways I do it. I find the deals first. And I lock up the deals, meaning I get that deal under contract. I don't go around waving my arms, telling people that I got a deal here and I got a deal here until I've actually got that deal locked up. Lock it up for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, as long as you can do it. And then I lock that property up, and then I get right to work preparing, you know, a document, which I'm going to show you right now. And I call you, it's just doing your homework, finding out, why is this a good deal? I have to be able to present this in a professional manner to the person who's going to lend me the money. I have to make them understand why this is a good deal, okay? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get prepared to present this deal, all right? And the deal is the key. I've got my contacts, now I've got the deal, and now all I got to do is put the 2 pieces together. That's it. So what am I going to do next? I'm going to start making phone calls. I'm going to start setting up meetings, okay? And I'm going to explain to people why I perceive this deal to be a great deal. One of the things that makes it easy is, I always say, does the deal have some sex appeal to it? If I have a row home, for example, that's $30,000, it's a little hard to get people excited about that kind of thing. You might have a private lender that kind of deal is perfect for. But nowadays, when I'm dealing with bigger numbers, I try to find deals that have some sex appeal to it. Now, this deal here is a picture of a house I bought on May 1st. I paid $387,000 for this. What was originally built as a single home, now it's a duplex. And it looks like hell. Nobody's fixed a damn thing on this house since 1946 when it was built. It's practically fallen apart. But the bones of the house are good. I like to say it's got good bones. So what I'm doing with this house is, it happens to be located on Siesta Key Beach, which is the #1 rated beach in the United States, right across the street from the beach. So this lot was worth $387,000 in my opinion, just without the house on it. And you know, all the houses in the area, the house next door is $4.5 million, the one across the street's $5 million, one across the street, $1.1 million. So all around me are these 7-figure houses. And you know, I went out, I raised $500,000 to do this deal, to buy it and to renovate it. Construction starts in about 2 weeks, and it's supposed to be finished on Christmas. And I'm going to turn it into a vacation rental down there, and I'm going to get to use it. So this is a property I'm going to rent out like for 3 months in the, in the wintertime, where I can make all kinds of money in the wintertime, and then I'm going to go down there and use it when it's not being rented. So talk about quality of life, right? It's not all about money. Not every decision I make is about money. Money is great, but your life can't just be about that. It has to be about quality too. I want to be adding vacation rentals across the street from Siesta Key Beach that I can go to anytime I want. Doesn't that get you a little excited? Doesn't that make things great? I'm going there Sunday morning. This is a form I use. I'm going to zip through this real quick. I sell these in my buyer's briefcase. If you buy the buyer's briefcase, if you buy the whole thing, you get this. It's called the Private Money Placement Generator Form. Okay, so suppose I buy a house and I want to raise money for it. I have comps over here that I get off the MLS. I have maps that I show people. Here's the other red balloons where the other houses are. Okay? And then I go into this document, which is a question-answer document where it's already set up. Because I already know, I've been doing this for 25 years. I already know what the people are going to ask me. I already know the answers, so why should I waste time repeating all of these things? So I put it all in writing, so it's all right here. I give you this document if you buy the buyer's briefcase. This is very effective, especially if you're dealing with the mom and pop people who never heard of private lending until you told them at the party you met them at 3 days ago when they asked you what you did for a living, and you said, I raised private money for amazing real estate deals. So now you're sending them a Q&A. This thing's like 6 pages long that answers everything that they're ever going to ask you. Okay? And then, I go through some more where I break down the subject property. I give them public records. I happen to be a realtor, so I get this information easily. If you can't get it, I'll get it for you. I'll help you with that. Okay? And then I get to what I call the story. The story is, let's face it, we all have to be salesmen in this world, okay? Some people put a bad name on that, but to me, I don't hide the fact that I'm a salesman. I'm excited about what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing is good, it's honorable, it's smart, and I'm not going to hide and not tell people about it. I'm going to tell everybody about what I'm doing, right? So what I do here is I sell it, okay? I explain how much money I need, what interest rate I'm willing to pay on that money, what kind of security interest they're going to get on the property. I tell them the story about the property, how I found it, why I like it, where it is, what I'm going to do with it, what I'm going to rent it for, how I'm going to fix it. Okay? You got to get people excited about what it is. If you're not excited about what you're doing, you're never going to get anyone else excited about it. Nobody wants to say, I met this guy last night, he was kind of quiet, and he has this mediocre house that I'm thinking about lending on. That's not going to happen. You got to get fired up about what it is that you're doing. It doesn't have to be a beach house in Siesta Key. It could be a house right across the street from where you live. That's probably a great place to start because you know a lot about that area. But you tell the story. And on here I give, suppose there's construction involved. I go out, I get some construction estimates. Suppose there's renting, vacation rentals involved. I go out and find out what the area, other buildings nearby rent for, and I give them that data. So I do all the homework for them. How long does this take me to do? If I buy a house for $387,000, I get one under contract, I go back, it takes me like a day to put this thing together. I write up a couple of pages, I do some homework, I make some phone calls. Maybe it takes me 2-3 days. But now I own a $500,000 house. I'm going to have $500,000 into it. I estimate that this particular house is going to be worth somewhere around $700,000 to $850,000 when I'm finished with it. All right? And that's pretty conservative because everything nearby is selling for $1 million. But just to keep the numbers safe, I'm going to say, it's a duplex too. It's going to rent like crazy. We have a duplex down there right now. Think of a 2-bedroom apartment with 1 bathroom that rents in Florida for $750 a month if you were renting to an annual tenant who lived there 12 months a year. That same property I just rented, just one side of the duplex, for $3,000 a month to a couple in Washington, D.C. They probably work for the government and are totally overpaid. And I rented them the house. From January 1 to March 30th, they sent me $9,000 plus 12% tax plus cleaning fees and some other fees. And so I got a check for $10,000. Now, that is more money. $10,000 is more money than I could rent the other side of the duplex for the whole year. I got paid 100% of the money up front. So there's no evictions. I'm not getting screwed on this deal. I got paid all the money up front. Right? it's a great little business. Great little business. The cash flow is great. I love it. Okay? That's all in the story. Pictures. You show people pictures. Because you got to get your private lenders excited about what it is you're doing. This right here, this is my house that I just bought. This is a $4.5 million monstrosity across, right next door. This is a 7-unit hotel, more or less, vacation rentals, with a swimming pool in the back. This is just another view of looking at it. And this is the #1 beach in the United States. This is all just dunes to get from the road to the beach, and my house is right there. So that's just one deal. Then I got 16 of them down there now. And I'm very excited about what it is that I'm doing down there.
How many steps to the beach?
72. How's that for exact? I counted it. It's 72. So you walk out your front door, you walk 70 steps, and you're on the beach. Your feet are in sand. And Jeremy happens to have a Hobie Cat, you know? I don't know if you guys know what a Hobie Cat is, a little sailboat, right? Well, at Siesta Key, there's only one place on the whole beach you can store a Hobie Cat, and it is directly across the street from this house. So it was like, you know, it was almost like it was meant to be for us. So, how do we buy houses with none of our own money? We gotta raise private money. We gotta have the right attitude. We gotta talk to people, okay? We gotta keep contacts. We gotta find deals. You gotta find deals no matter what you're doing, no matter how you're gonna buy properties with none of your own money. Whether you're buying them with none of your own money or with somebody else's money, you gotta find the properties, okay? So all I've talked about so far is the attitude you're gonna have and how you're gonna raise the private money. One form that I give you that you can raise the private money with, and how to find the deals. Okay, we're not really talking about how to find the deals right now, but you got to lock up the deals. Okay, so the other way, this is the second way that I buy houses with none of my own money, is subject to. Anybody here ever done subject to deals? We got a couple of them. We got an almost back there. Okay. A lot of people they know the phrase subject to. They've heard of it. They sort of accept, yeah, I kind of know how that works, but they don't do it. I bring it up probably 100% of the time that I talk to a seller. One of my first questions, when you pick up my buyer's briefcase, I give you a form which I use the minute a buyer walks into my store or the minute someone calls my truck. The first thing I do is I grab my form. I want your name, I want your address, and the very next thing on there is, do you have a mortgage on this property? You do? How much do you owe on it? What's the interest rate? What's the bank that holds it? What's the monthly payment? My form reminds you to ask these questions, okay? Why do I do that? Because if I have to buy houses with none of my own money. That's the way I'm going to do things. That's what I want you to do because it's the best way to do it. And you need people to provide you financing. Now, people giving you cash to buy is one way, but what if the house already has a mortgage on it? And they just don't want the house for one reason or another. Maybe it's a $100,000 house and they got an $80,000 mortgage, but they don't have the money to fix it up. They're totally under-renting it. They don't know anything about this business, and you could do a much better job. You could make money off their house if you just took over their mortgage. It is such an easy way. And when you learn how to do it, it's easy. You know, you don't need credit. You know, you don't need no credit. The loan is in place. You're not borrowing money from anybody. You are going to buy their house. They are going to deed the house to you. Now, in a normal real estate transaction, the mortgage, it's paid off. Any liens against that house get paid off at settlement. So all you do here is you're going to buy the house with what we call dirty title. You're not going to buy the house free and clear of all encumbrances. You're going to buy it with the lien already in place, with the person's name still on it. Okay, they're going to sell you the house and leave the financing with their name still on it. Now, a lot of you probably think that that's pretty difficult. That's a major obstacle. It is. It is. It is a major obstacle. But it can work, and it can work often. You just have to find the right kind of person. There are plenty of people who are already not paying that mortgage, or they're just about ready to stop paying that mortgage because they can't. Or they have to move because they got a job in Arkansas and they got to get out of Dodge and they don't want to rent the house and they don't know what the hell they want to do. They need you. the real estate expert to give them an option that they didn't know was available. They don't know this is available. Most real estate investors know the name subject to, but they've never done it. They don't know much about it. It's an amazing technique to buy houses. I bring it up almost 100% of the time I talk to a seller, because I know that if I keep digging, I'm going to get them. I'm going to get them. And we've done many deals this way. I mean, do I do 12 of these a year? No. Do I pick up 2 or 3 houses a year this way? Maybe $1 million in real estate, or $750,000 in real estate a year this way? Absolutely. Just by asking people. You can close really quickly. You know, the loan's not in your name. So what do you care about the limits? There's no bank telling you, oh, you already have 4 loans, you can't have this one. It doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters. Okay? This is leverage. When you're here, let's talk about leverage real quick. What I'm still doing after 25 years in this business is I'm growing my portfolio. I am using leverage. I want to buy as much real estate as I could possibly buy, as fast as I could buy it, because I know the prices are great to buy right now. And I am going to continue with that strategy probably for the next 8 years, 10 years, okay? Until I get to a point where I have so much real estate that I can begin to deleverage it, maybe pay off some loans. I don't know what I'll do at that point. But riding the cycle from here to 2025, that's my plan, leverage. So if I can buy somebody's house and it comes with the financing already, it's a beautiful arrangement for me. I want to do that. So this is the major objection you're going to hear all the time. What about the due on sale clause? It is true that the seller of that house signed a document with their mortgage company. And that mortgage company had a due on sale clause. And I've highlighted for you right here the key phrase. This is a typical due on sale clause that you'll find on most loans. And right there it says, lender may, at its option, require immediate payment on this loan. Okay? Well, people think that if you sell a house subject to, that the bank's going to call you up and go, ho, 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 ho. You owe us $200,000. We want that money right now. First of all, you don't have the $200,000. You couldn't give them anyway. They know that. Okay? As long as you're the new person who buys the house, as long as you buy the house and make the payments